Alright, so when you're adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators, the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find the least common denominator. And basically, the least common denominator is the smallest number other than 0 that both these denominators divide evenly into. So, alright, let's practice finding LCD in case some of you guys forgot. So we got 1/3 and then 1/4. When you're finding the LCD, there's a lot of ways to do it. What I prefer to do is I prefer to work out the multiples in my head because it's a lot quicker. The first thing I'll do, I'll always multiply the two denominators by each other. So 3 times 4 gives you 12. And the reason I do this is so I know that my least common denominator is either going to be 12 or it's going to be less than 12. Okay, and now I'll just run through the multiples for each number. So 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12. Then I'll go to 4, 4 times 1, 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12. And then off the bat, I know that 12 is the smallest number that both these numbers divide evenly into. So my LCD for this one is actually 12. Alright, let's go to 5, 6, and then 1, 8. So first thing I'm going to do is multiply my denominator. So 6 times 8 gives me 48, right? So I know my least common denominator is going to be 48 or it's going to be less than 48. Alright, now I'm just going to run through the multiples. So 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 4 is 24. And then I'm going to stop at 24. Alright, 8 times 1 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 8 times 3 is 24. Alright, so now I know my least common denominator is 24 because 6 times 4 is 24 and 8 times 3 is 24. So 24 is the smallest number that both 6 and 8 divide evenly into. Alright, now since we know how to find the least common denominator, let's go into solving. So 2/3 plus 1/4. Alright, so step 1 is find the least common denominator. Alright, so least common denominator between 3 and 4. So 3 times 4 is 12. And there's no number that's less that either of these numbers can fit into, so my least common denominator is 12. And the second thing you're going to want to do is going to make each fraction equivalent by multiplying. So in order to get 12, I multiply 3 by 4, right? So I'm going to do the same thing to the top number. Whatever I do to the top, I'm going to do to the bottom. So 2 times 4 is 8. And then I multiplied 4 by 3 to get to 12. So I'm going to do the same thing to my top number. So 1 times 3 is 3. Now I'll add. 8 plus 3 is 11. And the bottom numbers are just going to leave alone. So we're not going to do anything to the 12. We're just going to add or subtract for the top numbers. So our answer is going to be 11 over 12. Alright. Let's go to the next page. Alright. 2/3 minus 1/2. And then off the bat, my least common denominator, I know it's going to be 6. The reason it's 6 is because 6 is the smallest number that both 2 and 3 both fit evenly into. Alright, now we're going to solve. I multiplied 3 by 2 to get to 6. So I'm going to do the same thing in the top number. 2 times 2 is 4. And then I multiplied 2 by 3 to get to 6. So I'm going to do the same thing in the top number. So 1 times 3 is 3. So 4 minus 3 gives me 1. So my answer is 1/6. Now let's get rid of this one. 3/5 minus 1/10. Okay. My least common denominator I can tell is going to be 10. Because 10 is the smallest number that both 10 and 5 fit evenly into. And I multiplied 5 by 2 to get to 10. So I'm going to do the same thing with the top number. So 3 times 2 is 6. And then for 10 here, I multiplied 10 by 1 to get to 10. So I'm going to do the same thing at the top. 1 times 1 is 1. Subtract. And my answer is going to be 510. And if you needed to simplify, 5 over 10 is the same as 1/2. So that would be your simplified answer, is 1/2. Alright. One more problem. 4/5 minus 1/3. So first step, find the least common denominator. What I like to do, 5 times 3 is 15. So off the bat, I know my least common denominator is either going to be 15 or less. And it's actually going to be 15 because 15 is the smallest number that both 3 and 5 fit evenly into. Alright, now I multiplied 5 by 3 to get to 15. So I'm going to do the same thing into the top number. 4 times 3 is 12. Alright, multiplied 3 by 5 to get to 15. So I'm going to do the same thing with the top number. Alright, 1 times 5 is 5. Now I'm going to subtract 12 minus 5 would give me 7. So this is my answer, 7 over 15. Alright, I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching.